Everybody, Film Distraction here, coming to you live from Atlantic Studios. So I'll do a quick back drawing board, talk about comic books, and let you know the Kickstarter campaign for Archive Universe is winding down. Only a few days left. Go to archiveuniverse.com right now. Help us hit those next stretch goals. We are holding strong at 53 backers. Thrilled to have all 53 backers that want to have my books sent to them. So go to archiveuniverse.com. Just jump in for a digital reward if that's all you can do, and I will mail you some sort of physical reward just to thank everybody for jumping on the campaign. I really, really appreciate everyone that's gone to Archive Universe and helped us hit goal and helped us move on to stretch goals. So if you haven't yet, please go to archiveuniverse.com and check it out. Doing a little drawing, Moon Knight Deathstroke commission. If you want a commission from me, archiveuniverse.com has a few commission spots available. If you are just like, oh, I want to get all the comic books, but not only do I want comic books, I want original art too. Well, you're in luck because I'm offering original art at archiveuniverse.com. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, post them. I'm on Instagram here. You can see my hands moving, and I'm on YouTube at filmdistraction.com. So yeah, if you want to know anything, hey, Robinson Draws. What's up, everybody? Brush pen. It's a Pentel, Pentel pocket brush pen. Hey, Pedro. What's up? Good afternoon, Fancy Tomatoes. I love reading people's names. I'm sorry if I butcher your name. Yeah, Pentel pocket brush pen has a well in it, and you can squeeze the pen and dispense the ink. And I have a couple of these. And to be honest with you, if anyone knows the difference between the gray one and the black one, I'd love to know. I don't know the difference between these two. The black one seems darker, maybe, than the gray one. I don't know. What I do is I pop them up, I'm open, and refill them with my ink. But this one I just had laying around, and I was running out of ink to my other one, so I started using this one. And that's kind of the thing about the way I draw. It's a lot of just kind of seeing what works. So thank you, everyone, for hearts and the likes and the thumbs up and the shares. And if you haven't yet, go to archiveuniverse.com. What are you waiting for? Time is running out. This campaign is winding down. And if you haven't yet backed the campaign, go back to the campaign. We're holding strong at 53 backers. And jump in for a digital reward if you can do that. That would be great. And I'll try to send you some sort of physical reward because I'm so appreciative to everyone that's participated and helped me hit goal. So even if you just only can do a digital only tier, jump in and I will mail you something. I want to hit 3K and we are real close. So help me hit 3K. What's up, No Fear Comics? What's up, everybody? Hey, everybody. Thanks for the comments. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for supporting my Kickstarter campaign. There's a lot of great, awesome campaigns going right now. Support indie comics, support independent comic book creators, support your local comic book shops if you can, if there's ones near you that are open. Really, now is an incredible time to be a fan and a maker of comic books. There's so much great stuff out right now. And hopefully you're able to support some local independent creators, and definitely go on Kickstarter, go on Indiegogo, find artists and creators that you like, support their work, and help them bring those books to life. And go to archiveuniverse.com and help me bring my book to life. Yeah, so thanks so much for liking this drawing. This drawing is Deathstroke Moon Knight. I've been kind of doodling away at it on these Instagram lives. The response has been really good. People seem to want to watch me draw live. So on Instagram, there's a lot of interaction. I really enjoy talking with people, and it kind of alleviates some of the loneliness and boredom of drawing independently by yourself. Have I read The Boys? I've watched the show. I love the show. I'm not a huge fan of that artist that did The Boys. I looked through a few of them when it first came out. And there's just something about that style. I think what it was is that he did a lot of fill-in issues on Wolverine back when Mark Silvestri and Dan Green were working on Wolverine. And so whenever he would do a fill-in issue, that artist whose name I can't remember, not to speak ill of him, I don't, I think his stuff is great. It's just I know that his fill-in issues were always really like so different than the Mark Silvestri stuff that it kind of was like, oh man, I didn't like it. I didn't connect with it. And I think that's the thing with comic book art is it's just a matter of what you connect with. And I loved that Mark Silvestri run so much. And when it was that artist who jumped on before he did The Boys, I was always kind of like underwhelmed, not because it was bad, but just because it was just so different than what I was psyched about. So that's kind of why I didn't really get into The Boys, just because like, I think it's that guy whose stuff is phenomenal. And believe me, I would love to have an ounce of that guy's storytelling ability. That comic book, The Boys, is phenomenal. But I have not yet read it. I've watched the show, and the show was great. Yeah, any other suggestions for comic books I should read? I'd love to hear what people are reading. I know there's a lot of manga right now that's super hot. I'm reading Akira. I'm on volume 4, I think. I've just kind of run out of time to do that because I've been working on this Kickstarter campaign, archiveuniverse.com. But yeah, Akira is great. Akira is super violent. It's much more violent than I thought. I, of course, watched the anime years ago. I loved it. But the comic book, I was like, that's just like, these are just straight up murdering people. But crazy, definitely a really cool story. So yeah, I've been reading Akira. But any other suggestions? I'd love to hear what people have been reading, what they think is good. Any independent comic books anyone's reading? I'm always looking to get new stuff. So if you hear Ultra Mega, I've heard Ultra Mega is good. That artist's name is, what's that artist's name? Oh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Daniel Warren Johnson, is that who that did? Ultra Mega? Let me know in the comments. Superman Red Sun, phenomenal. I just finished rereading All-Star Superman, with Frank Quitely and Grant Morrison. I think Grant Morrison wrote that. I'll double check that. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, All-Star Superman is one of my favorites. Cartoon's great too. Yeah, but if anybody has any other suggestions of things I should be reading, yeah, No Fear Comics. Daniel Warren Johnson, I think it's the name of that guy. Yeah, great stuff. I love how he uses Zipatone, right? I've been using a lot of Zipatone digitally, but traditional Zipatone, it's like, man, I don't even know what that's. I've never done that. That would be cool to try. I'm assuming at some point I'll get into it just because I love the look of it digitally and I love the look of it in manga. It's just such a cool technique. I'm hoping to be able to apply some of that to my traditional work, but just been drawing digitally so much. It's almost like, when do I have time to draw an entire comic book or something traditionally? It's just like, I don't know, digital a lot now for me. Bought an iPad Pro 12 and Apple Pencil coming next week. Awesome. Good job, Al Nealian. Yeah, the iPad Pro, I just replaced the screen protector on mine because it's more than like a patch in the middle. So for some reason, like, it has a little bit of a texture. The screen protector on my iPad, it's called a shield, clear shield or something. And it has a little bit of a grit to it, and it burns through nibs pretty fast with the pencil. But I got to this point where I'd have like this big gray zone where I would always have where I'd always be drawing in on the pad, and I wore it down on the screen so that whenever I would try to draw there, the pencil would just kind of react oddly to that area. So I had to replace the screen protector. Long story short, replace the screen protector. Cowboy Ninja Viking, is that a comic book or is it just words you like? I like cowboy, I like ninja, I like Viking. That's a great name for a comic book, Cowboy Ninja Viking. I'm actually just today working on new ideas for comic books, and it's so much fun to just start from nothing, right? So I've been doing Archive Universe fully funded on Kickstarter right now. Go to archiveuniverse.com. That project's ready to go. And so I'm always thinking, like, what's my next thing going to be? What do I want to draw next? What do I want to create next? What kind of characters do I want to bring into this world? And so I have a couple in mind. And, follow me here on Instagram. Follow me on DylanAndrewsArt.com. Sign up for my blast emails. I always am trying to share the process and share kind of behind the scenes work in progress of all of my stuff as I create it. And I'm psyched to have a few comic books that I want to do the rest of this year. So Archive Universe, go to archiveuniverse.com. That's fully funded. That book's ready to go. I posted a picture of volume one. It's already, I got some prints of it done. So the comic books are ready to ship as soon as the campaign ends. So archiveuniverse.com, grab a copy. Even if you just grab a digital copy, I'll try to mail you some sort of physical reward, hopefully a comic book. So Punisher Viking. I love comic books that you can bring to life. Fun Image comic. Image has got some great stuff right now. Pink, purple, red, teal are so dope. Colors are used now on comic covers. Yeah, kind of an old school sort of Nintendo-ish vibe with those color schemes. And yeah, that Daniel Warren Johnson book for sure has that sort of vibe to it. I always like Francesco Francavilla's color scheme. If you look at his Archie stuff, really kind of orangish and blues, really weird greens, some weird greens. His stuff is fun. I like that color palette, but I'm not a colorist. Anytime you see stuff that's colored well, I usually have hired a colorist. It's just really not my bag of tricks. I'm always really appreciative when I can have a colorist put some shine on my lines. Punisher Viking run. I have a comic book. You have a comic book I can bring to life. Robinson draws. Hey, you want me to do a commission? Go to archiveuniverse.com, grab a commission reward level, and I'll draw your character. I've done that before. If that's what you want, people like when I draw their characters. So if there's a character you want me to draw, even if it's your own character, grab a commission. Happy to do it, man. So archiveuniverse.com, link in my bio. And Punisher's fun. Punisher is fun. I remember growing up reading the Mike Zeck Punisher magazine when I was a kid. And of course the Jim Lee and then Will Spartasio Punisher books. I was into those big time. He was a huge character back in the late 80s. I remember Wolverine crossover that Jim Lee did, some early Jim Lee work. You look at it now and it seems, kind of like it looks odd, because everyone knows what Jim Lee has gone on to create. But at the time, that stuff was just incredible. It had all the Art Adams energy that we grew up reading, and just such a, obviously everyone knew when Jim Lee hit the scene, it was like, oh, this is going to be something. Like this guy, he's got something. There's a thing that people like that he's doing. So Jim Lee, I just got Jim Lee's artist edition too. It's great. I haven't even opened it yet. I've been too busy drawing. So there we go. I've removed the graphite pretty much. And now I'm going to, comic books kind of go through that cycle where you'll have good runs and, less interesting runs. And it's just kind of how comic books have always been. The creative teams come and go, and, there are people on a book that you love, and you're like, oh, this is the best. I hope it never ends. And of course it ends. And that's just kind of how comics are. So I think the great thing about creator-owned comic books and independent comic books is the creative teams are usually pretty set in stone. Like my work, I'm going to draw my comics, right? So if you like my art, you're going to like the creative team because it's me, right? I'm not going to switch it out and be like, haha, now we have so-and-so doing the book. It's like, no, I'm going to draw the comic because it's my comic. So I like that about creator-owned comics, is that it's, singular vision. And I like that about like Kare Andrews. His stuff's great. And the thing about him is he's like, once you get into a committee, it's hard to create in a committee. And it's like, I get that. Drawing in a committee is tricky. It's better to have a singular creative voice, right? Because that's why, or a few people, right? A writer collaborating with an artist. That's what I would prefer, as opposed to like, well, we have to run this by the toy department. We got to run this by the movie studio. We got to run this. It's like, that's a tough way to create. So independent comics are awesome because you have just awesome people making awesome stuff, right? Support awesome people making awesome stuff, and you're good to go. Good to go. And if you want to support my work, go to archiveuniverse.com. We're holding strong at 53 backers. You could be the 54th backer. You right now, person on YouTube watching my face, or person on Instagram watching my hands draw. Go right now, archiveuniverse.com. Be the 54th backer. Help us get to the next stretch goal. And this project is funded, this project is happening, this project is ready to go out the door. Once this campaign ends, people are going to start getting their rewards. So you're not going to have to wait months or years or decades to get the stuff I'm creating. It is ready to go. Support the campaign, back the campaign, and keep an eye out on your mailbox, because I'm going to be shipping stuff to people. ArchiveUniverse.com. And if you have any more comic book suggestions, things I should be reading, let me know. Happy to check out anyone's work. If someone here is a creator and they want to tell me about their work, let me know, or let everyone know. And if someone has suggestions of comic books that they're reading right now that they think are awesome, I'd love to hear. Because like anything, comic books, there's good stuff and there's stuff that maybe you're not that into, but someone else might be into. And I don't think anybody goes about trying to make something bad or terrible. I think most creators are looking to make something they're really proud of, especially independent creators, because it's their name on the title. It's not that they're doing it for a big publisher. They're usually doing it for the love of it. So definitely support independent creators, and let me know what kind of comic books you're reading. So this is where I go through and do a little bit of gray wash. This is a loose drawing. There's a lot of looseness to this bad boy. I tell you. I'll tell you what. I'm kind of digging it. This brush has got a lot of water in it. This is where I'm flirting with disaster. Even if it drips or goops up, whatever. Part of the fun. No one's keeping track. So when I draw digitally, I try to emulate this sort of look. I think it's been pretty successful. I have a good group of brushes. Favorite archive character? My characters from Archive Universe. I'm really enjoying drawing Versus right now. He's a lot of fun. Warhood, obviously, I've drawn a lot because I did the 6 issues. Archive the Warhood Odyssey, which is volumes 1 and 2, available at atlanticstore.com. So he's near and dear to my heart. But it's funny because if I think about the characters and what their motivations are, right? Ledge is kind of my funny character. Versus is my more gritty, down and dirty vigilante character. And Warhood is more my sci-fi, darker character, right? A little bit more creepy. But really what they are is they're my id, ego, and super ego. So when they're all arguing or fighting in the comic book, it's my optimism, my pessimism, and my realism, right? So my optimism is Ledge, and he's like, yeah, this is all going to be great. This is going to work out, and it's going to be great. My pessimism is Era, and he's like, I don't think it's going to come together. I don't think we have a chance. And then my realism is Versus, saying like, listen, this is the plan. This is what we have to do. Get it together. And so I enjoy that sort of dynamic and bouncing those off of each other. So that's kind of how I write them, in that way. So definitely go to archiveuniverse.com, check out the book, back it, support it. And thank you so much to everyone that has gone and backed and supported the campaign. It's a fun story. I love telling. I love sharing my comic books. I love drawing for people. And thank you for liking this little commission. If you want a commission from me, there are commission spots available at archiveuniverse.com. If you want this actual commission, let me know. Say, hey, I want that Moon Knight Deathstroke thingamabob you were noodling away at. And I'll be like, cool, all right, let me grab it. All right, I'll mail it to you. Turn the fan off, get out of here. So if you're watching my face on YouTube, DylanDistraction.com, watching my hands on Instagram, thanks so much, Zverse Comics. I appreciate you commenting on my posts. It's always nice to have feedback and hear that people are seeing my stuff and that they appreciate me posting it. So thank everyone that comments on my Instagram posts and enjoys my work and shares my work and tells people about my crowdfunding campaigns. Really means a lot to me to have supportive, wonderful readers Thank you. It means everything. I can't do this alone. I need everyone's support, and it's so awesome to find people that want to support my work. So thank you so much, everybody. If you haven't yet, go to archiveuniverse.com, grab a reward level, jump on in. The water's fine. The pool's nice and warm. Jump on in the pool. And I'm gonna draw a little bit longer. I tend to always say that, and then it's hard for me to stop, once you start. That's the thing about comic book art, and I'd say that too. Really hard to start something, right? It's hard to start. It's hard to get the pen out. It's hard to sit down and grab the paper and start working. Starting. Once you start, it's like rolling. You just keep rolling, and then stopping gets to be hard. And you're like, oh man, I gotta go do other things. I gotta get some exercise. I gotta go walk the dog. So I would suggest if you're like, geez, you just start. It'll happen much more easily once you get going. It's hard to just sit and think and ponder. It's much easier once you start going to kind of work on the fly. And what's everyone on for dinner tonight? I think I'm having hot dogs. Turkey hot dogs. So yeah, go to archiveuniverse.com. Holding strong 53 backers. Thank you so much to all 53 backers. We're running out of time. So there is a deadline there. It ends in a few days. So if you haven't yet gone and backed, do it, because you'll wish you had. When it's over, it's over. If you didn't jump in, you don't get all the awesome stuff. That's just how it is. That's how it's life. Definitely jump in, grab a reward level, find something you love, help get us that next stretch goal. Support independent creators. And if you want this drawing, let me know. I'll help you. Just grab a commission reward level. So that's how I do gray wash. Hello, Brian. Brian Maldonado. As I butcher more people's names. If anyone would like this commission, or you'd like another commission of different characters, go to archiveuniverse.com. Grab a commission reward level. I'll even draw your character. Someone earlier was asking, will you draw my character? Sure. I've drawn other people's characters before. Happy to do it. I like drawing other people's characters. It's a fun change. So definitely go to archiveuniverse.com. Grab a reward. And again, if you have any suggestions for comic books I should be reading, post them in the comments. And un saludo, homie boy, desde Mexico. Hola, homie boy, from Mexico. It's always fun to hear where people are from. I had someone the other day from Chile, which is kind of cool. I don't travel much. I don't really go anywhere. So it's always kind of interesting to hear all these places I've never been. Like, oh, wow, I've never been there. I wonder what that's like. And again, we talked about it before, but I'm terrible at geography, so I have no idea where any places are. So that's just kind of, that's a little bit about me. So yeah, go to archiveuniverse.com right now. Grab a reward level. We're running out of time. Time is running out. If you haven't yet, please back, share, help the campaign, get the next stretch goal. We are currently holding strong at 53 backers. And if you haven't backed, then you should, because it's a great campaign. I worked really hard on it. So definitely check it out. And let me know what you think. And what else? So yeah, the next steps would be after this, draw more. Yeah, draw more. Probably go back through with this lighter one, give it some of this one, a little bit of this, boopity boo, a little lighter wash. Paper is soaking this ink up. Kind of cool. So I'm gonna go through and give it one pass of this. Can I give it another tone? Make it look more awesomer. As I draw, I'm always like, how can I make this more awesomer? I always think, what would Todd McFarlane do that thing? So, archiveuniverse.com. If you could have one superpower, what would I pick? I used to think it would be super speed because I would want to draw faster, right? Like, think of all the stuff you could get done with super speed. And it's a pretty passive sort of power, right? It's not like it affects other people that much. You just, like, super strength, people will be like, well, can you lift this thing for me? Or can you do this? And it's like, yeah, I can, but it's like, why? So super strength seems like it doesn't have any real value unless you love lifting things. So super speed feels like you could get a lot accomplished. And it's like, oh, wow, you definitely have that would be beneficial to be able to have that ability. I don't like flight. I wouldn't want to be able to fly because I don't like height. That's like, well, that sucks. Like, I don't want to be up in the air. That's terrible. Makes me dizzy. And then the negative thing about super speed, though, is that I don't know if I would feel as though I was moving super fast, or I would feel as though, like, you see sometimes with super speed, like with the recent Flash in the Justice League, it's not like you move super fast. It's just that everything else goes super slow, right? It's almost like you stop time. So the version of super speed is that modern interpretations of super speed is it's like, imagine standing in a line and everybody's super slow and you're the only one moving at a normal speed, but and that's your perception of it, when in reality you're moving very fast and they're moving normal speed. So I was gonna say super speed, but I don't want to feel like I'm just going fat, I'm going normal and everybody's going slow. That would be torture. So if it's not super speed, it's not super strength. I used to think invisibility would be kind of cool because I'm rather shy in real life primarily. So just to kind of blend in and not be noticed was always kind of like, oh, that'd be kind of great. But then I was like, oh, that doesn't really benefit you at all. You could just stay home and no one would see you. So, yeah, I guess that's true. So then you think of Superman's powers. Well, he can cold breath and the X-ray vision doesn't really interest me. So then I would think healing, right? To be able to heal, like Logan, like Wolverine, to have that ability to have enhanced healing powers. I'd like to hear what other people's ideas are. What would other people choose for superpowers? What am I missing with the good one? Super intelligence. I just think you'd probably feel like everyone's just dumb. You were the only smart one in the room. So I don't know if super intelligence would be very good. I wouldn't want to read minds. I wouldn't want to, maybe telekinesis, right? Being able to move things with your mind, might be kind of cool. Or like Magneto, being able to control things made of metal or some sort of control of things telepathically, remotely, possibly. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. There's not a lot of powers that are terribly appealing to me. Like, I'm looking around the room, it's like, all right, Spider-Man's abilities, nah, I don't want to climb up walls. That's all right. Daredevil's abilities, being able to have like radar sense, not at the cost of being blind. Super hearing, not really interesting. Everything probably sounds really loud. Looks like awesome in all the chat. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hello, Dylan. Did you study geography for today? No. I still don't know where anything is. If you were wondering, like, geez, what's Dylan terrible at? Math? Oh, man. So bad at math. Ugh. Geography, also terrible. But math, yikes. Yikes. Good thing I draw good. Because, man, if you had to be like, hey, solve this math problem, be not so good. It would be real bad. Yeah, math, I'm terrible. Geography, I'm terrible. And superpowers, I don't know. What did you think? Maybe be invulnerable? Oh, yeah. Yeah, invulnerability, for sure. I think time travel would be kind of neat. I don't know. Obviously, that would be fraught with dangers. but I like the idea of that. I like the idea of being able to move through time. That's kind of what Archive Universe is about. Go to archiveuniverse.com right now. There's definitely time travel elements in that book, in my book. So I think of that. I think of Batman, not needing any abilities, not needing any powers. That's kind of appealing. Just being rich. I'm rich, as he says in Justice League. So invulnerability, like Juggernaut, not being able to be stopped, or like who else? Colossus from the X-Men, another guy that metal skin. Commander Steel from metal skin. But yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot. Maybe Aquaman's abilities, kind of cool. Yeah, today's subject is superpowers. What superpower would you want? What superpower is the best? What superpower is dumb? I think Aquaman's abilities are kind of cool. Talk to fish, be able to swim real good. I live near the ocean, so that'd be kind of cool. Kind of opens up a whole new world. And again, super speed. If I'm able to move fast, and if not everyone else is moving super slow. Or being able to stop time. Ooh, imagine that. Just be like freeze time. I think time manipulation. Yeah, I might go with some sort of time manipulation for superpower for me. But again, I don't know. It's a good question, though. I don't think there's a right answer. At least not for me. There's no like, oh, it's this or nothing. Like some people are like, oh, I totally want to be able to fly. That's my dream. With me, it's like, flying in the air? Yeah. Questions off topic. Wanted to ask you if 20 is a late age to start art. No, start right now. Start today. What are you doing right now? Start right now. Draw right now. While I'm drawing, you could be drawing. And if you want to take lessons from me, go to archiveuniverse.com. I have a lesson reward level. So if you're like, geez, how do I get better? Is there anyone I could ask? You could ask me. Take lessons from me. I've taught before. I love teaching. I'd love to teach you. Go to archiveuniverse.com and back the campaign. Choose a lessons reward tier, and I will teach you one-on-one classes from me. Teach you about primitive shapes. Teach you what I know about perspective. Teach you all the tips, tricks, techniques, and tools that I use. And if you like how I draw, you want to learn how I draw, archiveuniverse.com. Grab a reward tier for lessons. They're limited and time is running out. So definitely do that because I love teaching. And really the thing is I've found I love learning too. So even if I don't know the answers to things, I can usually help people get to the right place and find out how to solve problems that they're having with their art. Geez, I can't figure out blah, blah, blah. Hey, we tried this. Usually that's helpful. Yeah, no problem, dude. Misty is Argent. Healing fast is cool. Of course, be able to strong would be useful too. I don't know if strong would be useful. Unless you love lifting things, right? Picking things up and putting them down. I don't know. It just seems like, okay, yeah. I get it. I see why that's appealing, but I think what happens is everything would feel really fragile, right? You're like, oh, I could snap this tree in half without really trying. So it's like, well, then what good is that? It's just everything's made out of Rice Krispie treats. You're like, okay, I gotta just be really careful now. I don't break stuff. That's not great. But healing fast, Maverick's powers you can see into the immediate future. Yeah, ooh, immediate future sight. Yeah, that gets kind of back to manipulation of time, and I think that future sight, that's Midnighter too from the Authority. That idea that's like, oh, I can already dissect how this will go, right? There's some appeal to that. I like the idea of manipulating time, and I like the idea of manipulating energy, right? So maybe being able to move things with my mind or change things with my mind, possibly. Like you think of like Firestorm, who can change the molecular density of things or alchemy of things. That's kind of fun, maybe. But I don't know. There's no right answer, with any of this stuff. Just kind of what you feel like. I think in certain spots you'd be like, oh man, I could really use the power of flight right now. Or like, oh, I really love to be able to be super strong right now, depending on the scenario. But for everyday life, it's like maybe super speed. I think Captain America's power will be bearable in real life. Captain America has super soldier serum. He has heightened senses, right? So heightened strength and speed and agility. I don't think he has like heightened taste or smell. I don't think so. That's a good question. Maybe he does. So would those be bearable? Would it be bearable to have heightened strength and speed and stamina? Yeah, I think like athletes, right? So if you think, geez, what must it be like? Just look at, Olympians. You're like, well, does that really benefit them in day-to-day life? Well, no, I mean, not unless they need it, right? They don't often try to race people to the car at the parking lot. So it's not like heightens his moving more quickly. It's not like he can complete tasks faster. His mind doesn't work more quickly than a standard human's mind. It can just run faster. I would want to have the ability to do things faster. Like I'm incredibly impatient. So it's like, oh man, if I could get this done and over with, whatever, like this drawing. God, man, imagine if I could do this in half the time. I could do 2 drawings instead of just 1, or 5 drawings instead of just 1. Those things I think are appealing, but that's just because of my own attention deficit and impatience, probably. And then of course I think like, geez, well, superpowers, you want them to benefit the world, right? So how could you, like, what abilities would you want to be able to help people? And it's, oh geez, that's a whole different. I mean, if we're just selfishly thinking about how it could make your life more interesting or better, that's different than what superpowers would you want to be able to benefit society or the planet. It's like, that's a whole other bag of hammers. I don't know what those skill sets would be. Maybe some sort of diplomacy, telekinesis, or not mind control, because you wouldn't want people to be just automatons. But hey, no problem. Fancy tomatoes. Captain America's power will be bearable in real life. I think so too. Thanks for chatting. Go to archiveuniverse.com. Anybody watching this right now, all of you, all people watching this, archiveuniverse.com right now. Back the campaign. Help us get to the next stretch goal. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop drawing here in mere moments. So definitely go to archiveuniverse.com. Thank you so much for your awesome questions and suggestions and feedback. And definitely keep liking, thumbs upping, sharing, commenting on any of my posts or my live videos. Really, it's awesome to have a community of people that like my work, want to support it, want to share it. It means so much to me. So go to archiveuniverse.com and I'll try to come back on again maybe tomorrow. I don't know. See, we got a few days left on this campaign, but time is running out. So definitely go to archiveuniverse.com. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it now. Do it right now. All right. And then I'll just keep noodling away at this. And if you want this drawing, let me know. All right. Have a great night. Bye.